After a packed Happy Valley last Wednesday night, the City Circuit is back this week with another 8-race program. We've got it covered for you all right here on Racing to Win, with 2 races in focus. There's a Class 2, so a good quality race to end the program. To preview it all, it's hello to Paul Lally and Nick Child. And Nick, before we get to the Valley, there were some big names at Sha Tin Trials on Tuesday morning. Yeah, there certainly were, Mark, for sure, and obviously none bigger than Romantic Warrior, for example, who trialled very nicely. But yeah, there was a whole host of them, wasn't there? So if you do get a chance, certainly get on the website and have a look at those trial replays. That's where you can find them. California Spangle, Invincible Sage also amongst the trialists. Paul Lally, you've had plenty of jackpots for us lately. What about Wednesday night? No, there's none. There's more coming up on Sunday, but there's none coming up here. So all the money was won at Happy Valley last week. Fantastic crowd there, and they really got into the racing. So the weather's really good here in Hong Kong. Expect a big bumper crowd on Wednesday night. Absolutely. Public holiday too in Hong Kong should only enhance an even bigger crowd for racing. Now, we know when you say King of the Valley, the first name you think of is Caspar Fownes, and here's a special feature on the man that is the King of Happy Valley.
I've always liked Happy Valley. I've always felt it's one of the most iconic tracks around the world, to be right in the middle of the centre of the city, to have public come there, and it's a great spectacle for racing. But for me personally, I love the track, and I try my best to send my horses there to get a decent performance out of them. We've been successfully doing that for many seasons. We feel sometimes that certain horses can benefit going to that track. We try to get it right. But like anything, a lot of horses, some of them can really do extremely well there. They come to Sha Tin and they're just a different horse, and vice versa. Some perform very well at Sha Tin and don't do that much at the Valley. It's the same as going onto the all-weather track. You've got horses that handle the dirt and they're not that good on the grass. I've trained the most number of winners in the history of Hong Kong at Happy Valley, so that's something to be proud of. This year we'll be going out all guns to try and get it done again. Special place. I had 6 winners there one day, which was a great feat. It was a great moment for us. Hopefully this year we'll be getting a little bit better, some better rides and some better performances from the horses. There's no reason why I wouldn't be up there in the top 3 or 4. He heads to Happy Valley, Nick, on Wednesday night. Caspar sitting just over 600 wins at the Valley. It's incredible, isn't it, really? And look, like he says in that piece there, you know, that some horses will enjoy it there, some won't, a bit like turf and artificial surfaces. But yeah, look, just snuck past the 600 there. Obviously, he's not doing too badly at Sha Tin either, Paul, and as we know, he's a multiple champion. Yeah, he is, isn't he? And he's had a really good career in Hong Kong over a long period of time. So he's got some good chances once again on Wednesday night. Here they are, those chances, Paul. Who is the best of the runners? Races 1, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I think Perfect General looked good in his trial and his only run here in Hong Kong. Kaholo Angel had no luck at his start, and he said at least he's race fit because he's already had a run. I give Ace Talon a bit of a chance at a price as well, but I thought the 5 and the 1 Perfect General and Kaholo Angel was best. Yeah, I think the fella in the first has got a cracking chance actually, and you know, he's only had 1 run, but I think he's able to a lot of improvement. Same combination that won the first race at Sha Tin on Sunday too, Caspar Fownes and Hugh Bowman. They combine with Family Jewel and will do so on the B course, and that race gets underway at 7:10. The 2 races we focus on: race number 5, the Class 3 over the 1650, and a good quality Class 2, race number 8 over the 1650 metres. Race number 5 looks this way. Supreme Agility at the top of the book has blinkers, shadow roll and a tongue tie all on for the first time. Simply Maverick didn't handle the conditions, and Zach was worried about his action, so eased him down last time. That was on the 1st of May, so I haven't seen him since then. He's had 2 trials. Gallant Waking races quite well first up. Star Contact has placed his last 4. Silver King has the hood coming off. Beato, he was scratched on the 1st of July with a lame right 4. He's had 1 trial to prepare for this. Satanta raced last week, and Across the Universe, Paul has the crossover nose band off. Field of 10. You know, Satanta likes to get back and hoping for good tempo, and that may not be the case here. No, I don't think it will be. Look, the logical leader, or the only sort of real leader in the race, has drawn 1, and that's Satirical Fan. So he should be able to get to the front with no problems whatsoever. Star Contact likes to go forward. Simply Maverick, he's been racing forward in his recent races, and the rest get back. So I think Satirical Fan's going to get an easy lead.
And Nick headed out to Sha Tin early on Tuesday morning to chat to some of the key players. One of them, Andrea Atzeni, who rides Simply Maverick.
Andrea, race 5 on Wednesday night in Happy Valley is a good competitive one over 1650. You're going to get back on board a horse you know really well in Simply Maverick. You've trialled him recently. How did he trial?
Yeah, no, it was his second trial this year and but this season, and he trialled good. I went up to Champfort and I sat on him, and yeah, no, he jumped nicely. He travelled good into his trial, and he picked up quite nicely when I asked him to. So he seems ready to go, and no, he's a horse that, like you said, I know quite well, and nice to get back on him.
Were you and the team, I suppose, quite mindful that at the end of the season, obviously on the softer ground, there was that rather disappointing effort where he was beaten a long way? Is it just a case maybe of sort of getting that confidence back with him through the trials?
Sure, and obviously had a quite long season as well last season. He started quite early. He was sort of aiming, to do his 4-year-old races. We actually thought at one stage he could even be a Derby horse. So he obviously he started off quite early. So he had a long enough season, and towards the back end, probably the ground went for him anyway. And but no, he's freshened up now. He's well, and Happy Valley. He's got some good form there. So it's nice to be back there.
140 days off the track. And talking of his form, I mean, he was second a couple of runs ago off 74, runs here off 76. I mean, you know him very well and what he's able to do around the course and distance. And I guess on his day, then he's as good as any in this, isn't he?
Oh, he is, yeah. He's, at this grade and off that mark, he should be very competitive. He's drawn a bit tricky, I think, with drawn 7. And but he's a pretty straightforward horse. Hopefully, if he jumps well, we can get a good position. I wouldn't want to be caught too wide with him, and but he's fairly uncomplicated. Like I said, as long as he gets comfortable, he's a big long horse, but he can actually finish off quite nicely. All these races sort of. He has won sort of just off the pace. So even I think once I won him sitting second. So as long as he switches off wherever it's comfortable, he'll finish good.
Is there a slight niggle in the back of your mind potentially as his rider that he is not from too fresh?
Well, yes. Well, he's obviously older now, and he's had 2 trials, I think. He seems ready to go, but there's a good chance he's going to improve from it, which he'd want to anyway. It's on his first run of the season. It's going to be a long season for him, so he wanted to come on for it, and he's ready to go, but it wouldn't surprise me if he takes a run.
Andrea knows him well, Paul. He comes here first up. Long time off the scene. Has he done enough in your eyes at those trials to be a big player here?
Yeah, I did. I really liked his last trial. I mean, he's put on 17 pounds, so he's at 1,218. He's got to carry the weight, 134, but he's a big, strong horse. So, look, I don't think this is an overly strong race, and he can be right on the pace. If they do if there is a sprint at the end, we know he's got a good tenor foot.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's only actually weighing a pound heavier than what he weighed when he won his last race. So he's certainly in the right sort of place, I think. And yeah, look, I agree. I like the trial.
That is a good report for Simply Maverick. On to Supreme Agility. Nick, he's a member of the Pierrong stable. Zach Purton takes the ride. He's had the 2 trials, host of gear changes. Likes to get back and run on. Starts off over 1650 this prep.
He does, yeah. Look, and this was an interesting run. When you watch it back, he's got a bit of a sort of an ungainly head carriage. You can see he carries it at an awkward old angle. So maybe the blinkers, shadow roll and tongue tie going on are just going to sort of correct that, if you will. But look, for me, I like the way he kept on here. Now, he's not overly big. There's not a great deal of him, but carrying the big weight might be the concern, Paul. But I certainly think he's got form claims. Yeah, no,
that's why I didn't put him in. He's 991 pounds. Barrier 9 with 135. Zach Purton aboard, you have to take unders. That worried me.
Would you prefer him over 1800 too?
1800, yeah, maybe even sort of at the bottom of up in grade with a lighter weight, maybe the bottom of class 2 over 1800.
We go back to last Wednesday night, Paul. Here is Satanta running 4th. Helene Wisdom Star, this was a big win because Helene Warrior actually was pretty keen in front. Satanta had the race run to suit, and he just couldn't quite get there in the end.
No, he couldn't. He'll be fitter for this run, though. So that's one thing under his belt there, and the stable's going really well at the moment. Again, I don't think they're going to go overly fast in front, which probably won't suit him. So I put him in, but on a very minor line.
Yeah, look, I think he's an each-way chance, isn't he? The combination, Mark Noonan, Luke Ferraris, I know very limited in early days, but they're operating at 50% so far this season.
That is a good report for Satanta, certainly around the multiple. Star Contact, Nick, when we last saw him, he was in good form, having those placings over the 1650 at his last 3 starts. Gallant Waking here has Vincent Ho and Francis Lloyd. Good draw and a pretty honest type.
He is, absolutely he is, yeah. I mean, Gallant Waking, of course, on his last winning handicap mark here, and he doesn't go too badly fresh. Look, I quite like Star Contact here. He was kept out of the kickback on what was a rain-affected trials morning. Very consistent, never really knows how to run a bad race, and he has one fresh, Paul, so I think there's enough to like.
Yeah, definitely. I've got him in for second next to Star Contact. The only little concern is he's at an all-time high rating of 72, but in saying that, he's going to get every opportunity in the draw, in the trail, I think.
He has won first up in the past too, has Star Contact. What do we do, Paul, with Beato? He's promised to deliver over all sorts of distances. He's back to the 1650 for the third go. He's run fourth twice at this trip.
Yeah, he has, but he's always looked like he's going to be suited by this trip. But with the lack of pace I see in the race, I think that's a concern.
I think so, and obviously just having a look at this this trial. Look, he's a winner of 55. He's rated 64 here. He's only had 2 goes here. Look, he's run okay, but I wouldn't get overly carried away. So.
We've seen most of them, Paul, in race number 5. Was the winner amongst them?
I think it was. As you say, we saw most of the field. I'm going to go with the 2 on top here, which is Simply Maverick. Look, he's trialled really well recently. I think he can win. He's on top, Star Contact on the trail. Gallant Waking's won fresh before and is on a winning mark. And Satanta from the back, 2-5-3-9.
I've gone with the 5 here. I think this is a really decent little race, actually, but Star Contact has done a little wrong. David Hayes has got his team going well from an early stage this season, and Karis Teton knows him well, and he's on board. Supreme Agility in for second. Look, I do query the big weight and the fact that he's only a small horse, but I think he's good enough to run well here. Simply Maverick will give his running under these conditions, and Satanta makes it in. He'll be race fit, having run already this season. 5-1-2-9.
That is race number 5. Just on the way to the break, big day coming up at Sha Tin on Sunday. Of course, we saw last Friday on the show that Golden 60s and retirement was officially announced. Well, coming up on Sunday at Sha Tin at 3:10 is the official retirement farewell ceremony where you can get along to Sha Tin and farewell the champ. That will take place between races 5 and 6. There's a 50-minute gap between the races. That's this Sunday at Sha Tin at 3:10. Plenty more racing to win right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. We're looking at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. Before we get back and have a look at a good quality Class 2, race number 8, we have Paul's last run reminder, and we've sexed up. The only way we could have sexed this up more was to have you in the Mojave Desert in a leopard G-string.
Yeah, imagine that. I don't think anyone wants to see that. But yeah, Mojave Desert is the last run reminder, and it was a really good run from him here as well. There's a couple of positives going into his run coming up on Wednesday night as well, coming to Happy Valley for the first time. I think it's going to suit him. But you can see he gets really well back here, and he was right back towards the rear of the field, comes to the outside and finishes off really strongly, and really caught the eye finishing off. Now, another real big positive about this horse is when he won his race in Australia, he had blinkers on, and he's going to have blinkers on for the first time coming to Happy Valley on Wednesday night. So he's a big price. You should get a decent price about him, but I think he'll be running on strongly at the end.
He's always trialled well too since he's been here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, definitely. Now, he did win over further in Australia, but he was placed over this trip.
He's had a couple of trials out of the David Hayes stable, and will wear the Satanta colours too. So race 7, number 9 Mojave Desert, is the last run reminder. The last race on the program is the Deepwater Bay Handicap, and we've got moments in time on the class drop. Helene Feeling, cheek pieces off, blinkers go back on. Flaming Rabbit minus his shadow roll. Blinkers are added to him. Outgates won a trial. Yellowfin's run second in a trial. He's very, very consistent. Chilchibi has the blinkers going on for the first time. Woodfire Bro is a last start winner, goes up just £2 for it. And both Red Hair King and Flamingo Trillion Paul into Class 2 for the first time. It's a good field, this one.
Yeah, really good field. Now, half the field likes the lead. That's the problem. Its tactics going to be massive in this race. Telecom Fighter should win the race for the lead. He's a 1,650 metre specialist here, and he's also got the apprentice claim. So he's just going to go hell for leather out front. Outgate likes the lead. Flaming Rabbit likes the lead. Flamingo Trillion likes the lead. If Yellowfin goes forward, he's going to ruin his chance, so he's going to have to, I think, try and get him behind. Moments in Time likes the lead. Woodfire Bro got the trail last time. Red Hair King likes to go forward. So the 4 horses that go back, Mr. Ascendancy, Helene Feeling, Chilchibi and Natural Storm will definitely get their chances.
Poor Natural Storm might be under the whip just after the start in this.
Oh, definitely. They're just it's going to be a really fastly run race on paper. Now, sometimes it doesn't work out like that, but with so many front runners in the race, I can't see it any other way.
All right, an abundance of speed in race number 8. One horse that is a very honest horse is Yellowfin. Nick spoke to his jockey, Lyle Hewitson.
Lyle, Yellowfin is a ride for you on Wednesday night. A horse you know extremely well. Good competitive race, however, but he's a good competitive horse.
Yeah, he is. You just know he's going to show up every time. He just gets the races, and I think sometimes, myself included, he sort of underplay him a little bit, and he just raises his game and runs a good race every time he steps out, no matter course and distance. So always a pleasure to be aboard him, and hopefully he just continues on his good ways of last season.
I know you haven't been on him in his sort of trials preparation. The excellent young Isaac Sitt managed to trial him very well, but you've galloped him. How did he feel?
Yeah, he's. It's funny, early on he used to be quite a strong, keen-going horse in the mornings through to races, everything, and as he's got better and matured, he's become less and less, and just more content in himself and his own work. So his gallop was good, but he didn't show off. He just went through his paces. But what we like to see is that in the trial he was pretty crisp, and he put up a good trial.
It seems like a long time ago now as far as ratings are concerned, but you won on him fresh last season off a 64. He's now up to a thumping 87, but I guess he doesn't help himself really, does he?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Consistency gets... he unfortunately doesn't get rewarded because he just keeps going up without winning, but you know, he's deserved of those points because he obviously just keeps performing. And in his wake, he's had some real nice horses behind him. You know, a couple starts ago at Charlton, he had the likes of Taj Dragon behind him. So he certainly can up his game when he's required to, and we just hope he can get his nose in front once again.
Does he necessarily have to lead from gate 6?
No, he doesn't. I've won on him from behind them, from one off, from in front. I think he's a tempo-based horse, so he'll be forward and ridden positively, and then depending on the shape of the race maps out, we'll have to decide on our position, but it looks like there's a bit of speed in there, and like you mentioned earlier, it's a very good race, very competitive, so I think whoever gets the best run should have the best opportunity.
He's going to get a good run on the speed map, Nick, as Yellowfin races well. First up 4 goes 1, 2 and a 3 finish. Yeah,
he does. Look, he's a very honest horse. You'd love to have a stable full of Yellowfins, wouldn't you, really? And, you know, Lyle knows him extremely well, and, you know, he's continuing to creep up the ratings, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. And, yeah, he's a very honest, consistent horse. So, yeah, he's one hard to leave out, but as I say, it's a good race, this one.
Flamingo Trillion, Paul, going back to race day form from last season. He was pushed along in a trial up at Chungfa, obviously too short for him, so we're going to go back and show this win. It was over 1,800, 1,650 for Flamingo Trillion. He has yet to run over this distance.
Yeah, a lot of them were on rain-affected tracks as well. He was performing really well when there was a bit of sting on the track. Now, with all his pace underneath him and him drawing barrier 9, I haven't got him in.
Do you know, I've been a big fan of the horse, and I'll make a little prediction now that I think there's a race in January, the only group race at Happy Valley, that he might well contest, should he continue to improve, and that's January Cup, because he's 3 from 5, 1,800. I query him at this trip, and I query him in this race, potentially, but I think going forward, he's still one to follow. One
for the Black Book, Flamingo Trillion. Now the trialist, Nick, this is Helene Feeling running 8th and Moments in Time. He ends up running 50 raced wide on this trial, does love Happy Valley. Also has 135 pounds on his back.
He does, yeah, big impost. But look, we mustn't forget that he was 3 1/4 lengths behind Rebel's Romance in a champion and Chater, so that's very, very strong form. But look, gate number 10's not ideal. The trial, look, I thought it was okay. Not really put under a great deal of pressure, and obviously Helene Feeling here in the same trial. He's got a bit of a gear change going on, Paul, but both horses look to travel okay.
Yeah, at Moments in Time, as we say, I think he is better slightly at Happy Valley than he is at Charlton, although he did run some good races at Charlton. One thing in his favour is that with all the pace in the race, he's a stayer as well, so he won't mind. I think Hughes will just try and get a bit of cover with him, and he could be finishing off strongly.
This horse too, Paul, Chilchibi on the map. He goes back, he can just let the pace go. Another one that loves the valley.
Yeah, and this looks like his race, Chilchibi. I mean, he's got all this pace in the race, and this is really going to suit him. Jerry Chow's got barrier number 4. The horse is trialled well, loves Happy Valley, loves the distance, so blinkers on for the first time.
Yeah, I think he's a very nice horse, very interesting horse with the blinkers on first time. Form tying in with Yellowfin, they've run in the same couple of races of late. Yellowfin's actually finished ahead of him twice, but that said, that wouldn't be the greatest shock if he turned the form around, and Jerry's in good form, which is great.
He certainly is. Our Woodfire bro, Nick, he has winning form from last time. This is his trial behind Massive Action. He's another one that races well first up, having had 4 starts for 3 seconds. Keith Young gets on well with him. He rides for Michael Cheng.
He does, yeah. Look, very nice horse, this one. He's a 5-time winner from 23, so he's been a real credit to his connections. 1 go here, 1 win. That was his latest run, of course. They put him up 7. He's actually not as well in at the weights with Yellowfin this time around, given that this is an 80 to 100. That was a 75 to 95 last time, but good trial. Michael Chang's done a good job with him, Paul.
No, he has, and definitely. I mean, he won really nicely last time towards the back end of last season, but he had that perfect run. He's not going to get that from Barrier.
What did the Swooper to win the last?
Looks that way for me. I think Chibi, he won 3 in a row at the start of last season. Goes really well fresh, and he finished off the season well. It looks his race for me. Moments in Time, gets that cover, finishes off strongly. Red Hair King, now he's another one that's drawn nicely in barrier number 1. He comes in with a light weight and he can let all that pace go. And then Yellowfin in there for 4th. 8, 1, 11 and 7.
Yeah, I'm going to take a chance with Yellowfin. I know there is plenty of pace in the race, but he's very honest and he'll give his running in this. So we'll go with the 7 on top. Helene Feeling, he's certainly got a touch of class, this guy, and he can run his race here first up. Chill Chibi a bit the same. He's got the blinkers on, and Woodfire Bro goes in as well for the 8th. 7, 2, 8 and 9.
That is the preview for the quality race on the card, race number 8. A reminder, the website has everything. Last run reminders, the trials for the good horses this morning, and also race-by-race previews for the 8 at the Valley. Click on hkjc.com and go to audio and video. Which one of the 8 is the best, Paul?
We're going to go in race number 2, a horse called Golden Luck. Now, this horse has trialled enormous, and he's the only leader in the race. Lowell Hewittson's very, very good on these front runners. He's going to be able to absolutely dictate, and I think he'll sprint off the turn and win easy. I like him a lot in this race. So that's Golden Luck, and here is that trial. You can see him just cruising on the outside there, and he really went to the line under a massive hold. So horse that goes nicely fresh, barrier 5. And I like him in race number 2, Golden Luck. And the value, we're going to do the last one reminder. Mojave Desert should be a good price, and coming with blinkers on for the first time, as he wore when he won in Australia. As far as the play's concerned, we'll do that in the last race we've just seen, with Moments in Time, Chill Chibi, Red Hair King, a QQP.
Best bet for me coming up on a Wednesday night. Race 1, number 5, Perfect General. Very lightly raced horse. He's only had the 1 run so far. That was down the straight at Sha Tin, but he acquitted himself well. He certainly shaped in that race as though he might want further. This is his most recent trial. I thought it was a nice trial here. Hugh Bowman was in the saddle, and he is going up in trip here, trying 1200 for the first time at the Valley, and he is, of course, trained by Caspar Fownes, and no better man around the city circuit to train a winner there. So Perfect General, the best. As far as the value player is concerned, race 4, number 10, Double Show, very open looking, class 5. I thought we could take a chance with him. Douglas White's got a couple in the race. Matthew Chadwick will be on board. And a play, well, relatively simple. Race 2, number 9, Wood on Fire. Win and place the old boy. I think he can run well first up.
Going Simply Maverick, you're not going to get a great price, wouldn't think, but he's a 3-time winner over the 1650. Andrea knows him well. He's put some weight on in that break. He's just a really genuine big chestnut threat, is Simply Maverick. The value play, Wood on Fire, comes here with no trials. He's a 7-time course and distance winner. Gets a good draw of 3. Thought he could see outside Golden Luck, and then they might run 1-2 because Paul's all over Golden Luck in that race as well. And the player forecast, Simply Maverick and Supreme Agility. Despite the fact there's not much of him, he does have Zach Purton on and is destined to be running on. So race 5, 2 and 1 in a forecast. That's Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We're going to pull up the diary now for the next 7 days or so in Hong Kong. We've got 2 Happy Valleys on the Wednesday nights, and in between, Nick, huge day, as mentioned. We officially farewell Golden 60, and also group racing heads to Sha Tin. Yeah, for sure. Look, it's a celebration cup. It very much will be a celebration. I've got a distinct feeling, Paul, Wednesday night, the gift shop might be inundated with certain purchases for a certain horse. Yeah, definitely. And if you're in Hong Kong, please get out to the races Sunday and give them a fitting farewell. And that has been Racing to Win. Thanks to the boys. There's 8 races, of course, at Happy Valley on Wednesday night for the 2nd meeting of the season. Get there if you can. If you can't, you'll see it all through the website and everywhere you view Hong Kong racing. This has been Racing to Win. We'll see you on Wednesday night at Happy Valley from 7:10. Bye-bye.